Hey, we're live here on Thunderbird Outdoor Adventures. I am Johnny Warrior, Senior Instructor for Thunderbird Outdoor Adventures, and this is our first ever live cast from this channel. And I thought we would go ahead and just take a short one here and talk about all things of bushcraft, basically all things outdoors. I'd take a couple minutes and introduce myself, give you a little bit of a history about me, and see if I can get some feedback as you guys get online. And if anybody wants to give any questions or has anything that they want to contribute or have any ideas, I will take them into account and we will definitely run with it. Okay, so let me first give you a little bit of an introduction to me. I am the senior instructor for Thunderbird Outdoor Adventures. Thunderbird Outdoor Adventures is an all-volunteer organization, for lack of a better term. There's several instructors involved with it. We don't charge any money for our curriculum courses online. You get everything pretty much free. You can help us by focusing the skill sets you're looking at. Sometimes, going over the normal basics can be a little redundant because most people who are looking at these YouTube channels already have intermediate skill sets and are looking to move into the advanced skill sets. And trust me, my guys are completely capable of teaching this, but we need a little bit of direction as far as exactly what it is you're looking for. So if you have any particular skill sets that you're looking for, if there's anything in particular that you need, just give us a shout out. You can contact us here on YouTube or at thunderbirdadventures@gmail.com. Or we have a website, www.thunderbirdoutdooradventures.com, and you can contact us there as well. But really, this is about the best form because we're on here almost daily. Now, granted, we are slow in bringing up material, but the problem is without direction of what you guys need or what you're wanting, it's a little hard for us to really know what you guys want or what, curriculum you're looking for. So, help us out, give us a little bit of direction, and we will get you exactly what you need. Credentials, all right? I've been an avid outdoorsman since knee-high to a grasshopper, but, bushcraft is something. Yes, I started developing it as a Cub Scout, Boy Scout explorer, and moved into it when I went into my military career. Now, when I went into the military career, I started getting into survival, all right? And there is a difference between the two, and we'll kind of talk about that here in a minute. But, my military survival skills start to develop, and I took some advanced survival skills, both in the military and outside, along with some of the rescue curriculum that was needed, and moved in that course curriculum. But I always coming back to those primitive skills that I really, really loved doing bushcraft. As an avid outdoorsman, it increases a level of comfort while you're outdoors, having those skill sets. I know it's so easy to whip out your lighter and start a fire. But the reality is, if you get yourself into a scenario in which you're depending on that single item in a self-rescue type scenario and it isn't operating and you don't have the skill set to produce some type of secondary asset, you're putting yourself at risk. And, some of us go into the extreme as far as our backpacking, our trekking, etc. And there's a lot that we can glean from, the history of bushcraft and what that is. Now, bushcraft is actually a European term. It's, we used to call it woodcraft, but that gets confused in modern terminology. And we think about, wood shop back in high school when we talk about that. But, the folk aspect of this is well documented in American history. And in actuality, there is a gentleman named Dave Canterbury that does a real good job covering a lot of the history of American woodcraft and what it partakes, and also how our pioneer and explorer forefathers really utilized it in, developing what America is today. Now, the difference between bushcraft and survival. All right, survival is generally taught within a 72-hour scenario. So you're really being taught skills to keep you alive for a 72-hour duration until you can get rescue or self-rescue or get yourself into a situation to be rescued. And that's generally common for, the the woodsman, the camper, the hiker, hunter, and that's really kind of what that type of curriculum is for and focused on. Bushcraft is more of utilizing primitive technologies or resources in order to maintain a indefinite period of time with limited resources. So those skill sets that you're using is using more of the technical knowledge, and we'll use that kind of loosely, the technical knowledge in order to exploit the resources around you to enhance your situation. So you're not really surviving, but you're really thriving in the environment in order for a indefinite period of time. So if you are an explorer or a pioneer, back in the day, they were utilizing, cutting tools and fundamental tools that could not be reproduced easily out in the natural environment, and carried them out there with them, and they started, making tools from that, or a livelihood from that, or, cutting out their niche in, whatever wooded or prairie area that they were at. Now, you know, is there really a need for that skill set? Well, it's a dying skill set. They say now most millennials don't even have the basic resource knowledge in order to, basic survival skills. So as these skills start to dwindle with our older generations and there's petering out, what's going to happen? We're just going to keep them preserved in books and, exploit them at the period of time that we need them again. You don't know what the future holds. So I would venture to challenge your train of thought and keep this kind of as a fundamental skill set that's needed, that you yourself can develop and, exploit out in any scenario. If you are confident in some of the most extreme environments utilizing the most primitive skill sets, how do you think you're going to work and operate on a day-to-day basis where everything is at your fingertips? Think of how that confidence will transfer from one side to the other. So I think there's really a place for it, more so in today's, technology-based environment than it ever was before. Um, I have been teaching for, I don't know, maybe about 4 years. I had a 26-year military career. I am a wounded warrior, so some of my stuff is limited, but I am still able to get up and around. I have three good instructors that are fully capable of training and teaching. They're back in the States. I currently reside in the Philippines. Yes. Originally, I came here with the intent of helping an individual start a school here. That kind of fell apart, and I really like it here, and I decided to stay. I'm here indefinitely at the moment, but I go back to the States quite often. I'm hoping to contribute. There is an avid bushcraft community here in the Philippines, and I'm hoping to contribute at some level at some point to help preserve that skill set and those primitive skills here. Now, their skills may be similar, but let me tell you, there is a far cry between making a fire using bow and drill or flint and steel than there is using a bamboo saw. The friction fires here, they're wonderful, but they have to have that the tolerances for it to succeed are so small and so minute, it has to almost be the perfect situation. So it's important that those skill sets remain not just simply, once or twice I've done it, I can do that, but that's something that you're consistently using. For instance, when I go out in the field at any period in time and I'm doing some dirt time, I always use a primitive skill in order to start a fire. All right, that way I'm maintaining that. And if it's a real emergency and I got to get that going and my lighter is working, hey, great. But if it's not, I know I got the skill sets preserved, and that, hey, no problem. I can start it with flint and steel, or I can get it done with that bow drill. All right. Shelter building is something that is, believe it or not, needs to be done. It is it's got a shelf life on it, as well as water purification. You've got to keep in contact with it. Edible herbs is a perishable item as well. And you got to keep maintaining a visual acuity for that herb or edible or medicinal on a constant basis in all seasons, because what it looks like in the spring compared to what it looks like in the fall are two different things. And at times, what can be used on the plant will do different things. So these are all skills that we need to have a conversation with, and we have to continue training on. Now, this program I would like to do, I think I'm going to start it out like bi-monthly, twice a month, once a month, twice a month. Let's see how it goes, how it's received. If I can get a following crowd of at least, let's say 10, I could even move it to a weekly, and I'll do it at a timetable that's conducive to the majority of my audience that wants to do it. So just, shoot me a comment or shoot me an email, PM me, whatever, and tell me what it is that you guys need, or if you like this kind of format. I can bring material to the table and we can discuss and do reviews of material, of literature. There's plenty of books out there that have great resources. We can cover those and, do an analysis on it and see what it is as far as if it's worth the buy or not. We could also discuss techniques. There's a lot of techniques. Now, most of the time when I'm doing this, I got to obviously do it in this controlled environment here. But that does not mean that I can't do a video, bring the video on and show it here in the secondary screen down here, right? Or a slide presentation, and we could discuss techniques, and you guys can, review what I do and compare it to what you do, and we can have a discussion of the best way of doing it. I am not saying that any single thing that I do is the best way. All I'm trying to do is teach you a way, a foundation for you to develop it on your own. The way I do things is not exactly the way I've been taught them. I have used the skill sets long enough and developed it to where it's really comfortable for me. You have to do the same thing. So just because, and that goes for any instructor, if any instructor has taught you a single skill set or multiple skill sets, that does not necessarily mean that the way they're doing that skill set is perfect. It may be perfect for you, and that's great. But sometimes we don't have 100% comfort with it, or it doesn't quite just do exactly what we want, or it takes a little too long, or it seems like we got a better idea to improve it. And that's what primitive skills are. It's the basic foundation that we build upon, right, to better the next time we do it. So, that's what this is. Bushcraft is a lifelong adventure in learning. And if you are definitely a lifelong student, such as I, and if you knew everything, the literal truth of that, we would find that, this is definitely the type of hobby that you would like and you would enjoy. So I'm going to go ahead and sign this one off. And I want you to think, don't stay at home. Don't stay on the couch. Get out. Go see natural. Even in the city, there's green belts. There's places that you can go, places that you can see, and there's places that you can be outside. Get outdoors and try it. All right? And if you guys have anything in particular that you're looking for, just contact us. Myself or one of the other instructors will get on here and we'll do videos, do these live streams for you, and we can start building, rapport, reputation. And these are skills at this point. These are skills that we all need to share. You don't need to be paying for the foundation of them. You know, of course, practice makes perfect, and sometimes paying for the direct one-on-one with a subject matter expert is something that we need to do. I'm just simply saying that for the 5Cs and some of these basic bushcraft skills, we can do this in a different form between the YouTube videos and these chat rooms right here. All right, guys, I'm Johnny Warrior. Until next time, think positive and be outside.